Hello everyone, this is Chef Sandy. I'm going to show you how to make crispy pork belly at home today, the authentic style. So basically all you need is this cooking kit, which comes in 2 packets with the mustard and the marinade for the pork. All you need to do then is to go to your favorite meat shop in supermarket or in the wet market and buy a piece of 600 grams of pork belly. Ideally, you want to ask your butcher to give you not like a long strip like that, but something that is square like that. And let's start. Okay, so first step, you need to bring a big pot of water to a boil. And once it's boiling, then you turn off the heat and take your pork belly and plunge it in. Make sure that you have enough hot water to cover the entire piece of pork. And cover the lid and leave it there for about 20 minutes. Okay, so now it's been 20 minutes and we can remove the pork belly from the hot water and prepare some kitchen paper and just pat dry it. It's quite hot to touch, so be careful. So then what you do is you get some of these pricky toothpicks and the next step is actually to make very many small incisions on the skin. Now, after you've actually soaked the pork belly into the hot water, you can then see the actual sort of thickness of the skin. When you prick through the skin, make sure that it doesn't go through all the way down to the meat. Otherwise, as you bake it later on in the oven, the meat juice will come out to the skin and that part would not be crispy. So actually, the way I would do it is to actually do it at an angle like that. So you basically start making small incisions. Just carefully do it. Also, after soaking for about 20 minutes, now that the skin should be soft enough for you to make these holes. So after you've basically made little holes all over the skin, the next step is to then take out the marinade. This is a salt rub with different spice. And you just basically put it all over it. And you rub on all sides of the pork belly. Turn it around. Now, if you have a very thick piece of pork belly, you can also make some incisions here, maybe down by 1 cm to 1.5 cms, and then you can put some of the salt rub into the incision to make sure that the meat would be thoroughly cured and marinated. And then basically, this can now go into the refrigerator. Okay, so now this pork belly's been sitting in the fridge for about an hour, marinating. You remove it. You can basically just rub off the excess salt. And now this goes back into the fridge for about 8 hours to dry off the skin. Okay, so the pork belly's been in the fridge overnight or for 8 hours, and the skin is dry. And what we do is we've preheated the oven to 250 degrees. Now we can go into the oven. You put it on top of a rack because a lot of the fat and the juice will start to drip as you roast the meat. And now this goes in to the oven. Okay, so now it's ready to take the crispy pork belly out of the oven. Be careful, it's very hot. Now the top of the skin should be nice and blackened like that with lots and lots of blisters. Let it rest a little bit because it's very hot now. And what you need is a serrated knife. And I'll show you the next step. This is the crucial part that differentiates proper authentic Cantonese crispy pork belly and the Western style of doing this. Now I'm going to put this into a sink area and secure the belly and use the knife to scrape off just lightly the top of the blister and burn part. Try not to actually scrape off too much. Okay, so once you've scraped off the blackened bits, then the next step, you take a bit more cooking oil and brush it over the skin. Now it's ready to go back into the oven the second time, this time for about 5 to 8 minutes, depending on the strength of your oven. It's ready to come out from the oven. Very hot, be careful. You basically remove the 4 sides. It may still hold a bit of the burn bits. It's very hot still, so you might need a pair of tongs to help you to cut. And then to actually serve that, we would serve it with a mustard sauce. So you could add just water. Easiest is just to add water and then just basically stir it. If you like, you could add a little bit of olive oil. It'll make it a little bit fuller and smoother in texture. Or add a little bit of vinegar as well for authentic Cantonese crispy pork belly. Then we can serve that, plate it and serve that.